Hello everyone, welcome back to another Age of Empires 4 commentary. I am Beyond, and today we have a good one for you on Boulder Bay. We have Leenock in blue as the Mongols in the top hand side of the map. And in the bottom corner we have Don Quixote aka demuslim as the English. Now this matchup always gets a little bit spicy. It really depends on the map itself. In Boulder Bay we're going to be seeing a lot of focus on the water itself. Probably going to have a lot of small kind of skirmishes around this part of the map. Try and get that water control early on, and a good way to do that early on is to use your military. Now the current matchup right now for Mongols versus English in Conquer and above, as I'll pop it down right on the screen, is about 58%, but only 100 games played, which is probably more indicative of they're using the map specific that is the best matchup for Mongols, and same vice versa. And English are a jack of all trades, so you can use them almost anywhere. That being said, on the flip side, when you bring it out to all of ranked across every single rank, about 10,000 game look, Mongols versus English, it's about 50-50. I'll pop that on the screen right now. I think it's like 49.5%. In favor of the English, but that's probably also because lower ranks, English is just a lot easier to pull off than the Mongols. So I haven't mentioned this yet, but thank you so much for all the support. We're over 90 subscribers. I couldn't be happier. I can't wait to get to 100. If you guys are enjoying the content in the channel, please do drop a subscribe. And if you are enjoying this specific video, please do drop a like. It helps a ton. And for the 100 subscriber video, let me just, I'll cast a specific game. So let me know if there's any specific civilization or player you'd like me to cast for that 100 subscriber game. And I'll just go with the most voted one. Or if it's the only one in the comments, that's also very fair. It happens. I'm good. I just love all the interaction. This community has been so awesome and so nice. I'm trying to interact more on Reddit and Twitter. So if you see me around in streams, stuff like that, do say hi. So let's get into this. Two extremely high-level players, I believe both top 10 at the current moment in the rankings, and both have been playing in Golden League and doing pretty well. demuslim's been he's been eliminated a little bit early, but that's mainly because he's just playing really high-caliber players, and they're really taking them to a 3-game series, usually 2-1 that he loses. So an extremely talented player, unreal personality. Go check him out on Twitch and on YouTube. I will link his YouTube here. Just because we're on YouTube, I think it's a little bit easier. Same thing with Leenock, an incredible player. We'll leave their YouTube as well and below. So with this matchup specifically, it can get a little bit creative, obviously, with the power of the Uvu and double production, which is where we're going to see Leenock right now. Can get some early calves and get some map control early on. But if you are like demuslim right now in the English and drop an early barracks, this counterattack with the early man arms can be very effective. Spears are a little bit clunky. They are obviously the counter to horsemen, but I think the 5 man arms that roll up to your dock seem a little bit more daunting than the 5 spears. Again, both work. You can do whatever you kind of see fit. It also stops the quick production of just instant archers, which some civilizations will do almost instantly if you do produce spearmen. But these early man-at-arms are going to be useful into almost anything that pops out from Leenock's side, which I think is why demuslim went for these. They're going to give you pretty much instant map control. They're going to make any army, if you get to 3, 4, 5 of them, pretty scary and daunting, and there's going to be a lot of investment to take them down. So Leenock's going to have to invest a lot into these horsemen to equate to these 3 men-at-arms. We'll see what they can kind of do. And also, absolute tragedy. I tried to record a video today, went through the whole thing, was great, and realized that I was not actually recording. So I had to find a new game. So hopefully this one is just as good as the other one that I casted. I like to cast games that I haven't seen before. Makes it a little bit more fun for me. And also it seems like it makes it a little bit more fun for you when I do predictions and call certain builds instead of just like knowing exactly what's going to happen. And yeah, it keeps it kind of fresh. So with these water maps, you take it, you leave it, right? Like, it's one of those things where you either love them, you hate the mechanic, you wish it was fixed. I think there's a candidacy for all in between. I think I would like to see a little bit less prevalent on these maps. Like, if you see water, it shouldn't just be the end-all, be-all. But I understand at the current moment as to what the devs are doing and what they're thinking with what they need in there. Or if you're like me as well, and you just don't like water at all, even if it was completely balanced, just ban the maps out. Obviously, these pros cannot do such a thing because they need to practice. Because when you get to Golden League 2 and pro tournaments, they don't just go, oh, don't worry, if you don't like water, we just won't put it in the map pool. Not quite how it works. So I understand why they don't really use many bans themselves, especially on these water maps. Boulder Bay is one in particular. I do love how like this is out here. Like I've never really seen a game at the Conqueror above level get to the point where like people are starting to use this stuff out here, but you never know, because if you can get out here safely and control it, it means you probably control all of the water, which means you'll probably win anyways. Ooh, we have a awesome clash going on over here. We've already lost a few of the... What did we lose? We lost a scout, so nothing really that crazy. 7 men-at-arms, but there's only 5 of them currently here against 9 horsemen, which are all here, which I think will lead into leenock's favor. It'll be interesting to see if leenock's able to do anything off of this. And what I mean by that is it's a pretty heavy investment for 9 horsemen, so interested to see if they roll down and go take out the fishing, the docks that demuslim has set up. But look at how tanky these early men-at-arms are. Just so incredible how strong they are early game. And I do think they might need a slight nerf. I think they're in probably too good of a spot. So leenock wins that with the power of the Mongols, which is the early game horsemen, or early game anything with that Uvu without production. And looking like a outpost going down over here to essentially impact this fishing. I don't know if that's going to be enough, though. If demuslim goes all in on these men-at-arms, I don't think leenock's kind of like makeshift kind of injured force here is gonna be enough. I'll be interested to see if it is, but only 10 on the map. We have 2 more coming down. I don't see any more in production, which is I think what you'd need is you need to double. You need to like continue the production and match production of demuslim, which leenock is not doing. I don't like this fight for him at all. Oh, this is tough. I don't think this is going to be good. demuslim reaches age 2, so if these men-at-arms, if they get that early upgrade, which I'm sure demuslim's already researching, there it is. Once that upgrade kind of comes in, it's going to change the tide of this entirely. demuslim obviously would have loved for this fight to happen in about 15 to 30 seconds. We'll see when that's going to pop. It's going to pop in 2 seconds, which is going to change the tide right here. Boom, instant upgrade. And yeah, now these horsemen cannot tank with those men-at-arms at the current moment. Gonna take them all down. Oh, it's not a good trade at all. Love the use of the demo ship by demuslim here to do some damage on this. I mean, once it blows up, obviously they'll pop out and try to heal it, but that will put them in range of the men-at-arms. So it's going to kind of be they'll pop out. Now they're in range of the archers, and the archers can actually start to shoot. Same with the men-at-arms. It's just going to be a constant game. There's only 1 spot left, so one of these is dying. There you go. It's a sad day, but it happens. Now this demo ship might come out. Oh, these horsemen popping out, and that's pretty much over for them. So now there's only 3 left. Here comes the demo ship. And this is going to be thwarted. That was a huge upgrade by demuslim. I love that they were able to sneak in that age up. I'm not sure if leenock made the best call coming down and harassing this. I know it's super, super important to get water control, but I'm not sure if the move would have been to double down on the horsemen or just accept the win up here and then try to age up yourself, or essentially go harass this. Because with demuslim, with being untouched back here, as you can see, demuslim hasn't really pulled any civilians, hasn't put any aggressive towers, anything like that. So just been all gravy essentially in the back end. leenock is down 17-6 in the military, but that's all. It's all boats at the current moment. And as you can see, if boats can't shoot you, like Boulder Bay is, this entire force walks around, and leenock has nothing to defend this. I'm assuming the path here would be to go maybe harass the wood line, or just take out the. I mean, the gold's easy, right? The gold and the Uber back here are both pretty easy. They're not defendable at all, especially with no standing army. We just see it kind of chilling out here. The Muslim's still not sure exactly what he wants to do, but seeing these couple of war junks pop out, I don't think they're going to want to deal with that and just go deal with the back end. Because especially in these maps with the water, if you can impact the wood production from the other player, it's so crucial. Because obviously wood equals boats, and less boats, obviously you start to win. So it's 4 military ships for leenock versus 2 for demuslim, but 2 more popping out. So we have water wars going on up here, and we have this Uvu's done. Yep. Goodbye, Uvu. It's been fun. It's been real. So it's now 3-3 at this point. We have 1 demo ship coming out for leenock. Wouldn't be surprised to see a few more pop out for demuslim. Ships, no ships here. Maybe an explosive ship. This Uvu's going down. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw those archers swing back around to get some damage on an impact on that wood line. Here's this demo ship coming in. Is he going to get the splash off? He does. Only gets 1 though, so pretty good spread by demuslim there. These ships are being healed up since they're over by their docks, which, I mean, at this point, oh no, just spread them. But that's also just essentially securing both deaths. So that excellently played by demuslim there with that demo ship, sniping out 2 of those archer ships. And so demuslim's winning on land. He's winning via the sea. I think this is just going to get worse and worse for leenock, but we'll have to wait and see. I mean, you never know. But Mongol being without the early pressure going their way, the deer stones obviously is super important, but I think the impasse there was a decision to stop producing units and then starting to produce those, but not much economic damage was done. And then their feudal age was slightly delayed, which gave demuslim the chance to start upgrading his military and both his water and his land military. And then all this damage done by this relatively cheap force, which is one of the reasons why the English are so good right now. It's just they can just produce, and same with the Ottomans, right? The Ottomans' win rate is bananas, way too crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if they see some patch love, if you will, or not love, in the next patch by the devs, because they're very strong with the amount of cheap military they can produce. And I think that's also why the English are so good right now at the current moment too, is quick, easy production of pretty strong units. Oh, there we go. Just take it out. I mean, you already got what you wanted. You already got, just kill it. Kill this blacksmith. That way you can secure that you have the best upgrades for sure. And they're steeled arrows, so these longbowmen are going to be doing even more damage. And we have an absolute ball of ships rolling out for demuslim here. Going to start now impacting the food economy for leenock. And we have an absolute plethora of range ships, which is interesting to see. You don't usually see that, but it's the same thing as archers, I'm assuming, that you need a critical mass for them to be effective. As you can see, they're ripping apart, but not enough tanks. It's the same thing as like an archer army that doesn't have many man-at-arms or knights in front of it or spearmen, is once they have no tanks to soak up the damage, they're pretty feeble in their armor as well. So, yep. As I imagined, he faked him out. He thought that was an explosive ship right there. But as I imagined, once you lose the critical mass and there's nothing else for them to tank, those archer ship mass is not going to be enough. Doesn't matter how much wood you have coming in. And with all that idle time done by that other army, which it looks like we did miss the cleanup of. So good job for that on leenock's part. But once you lose the water on these maps, it's pretty much over, especially because leenock doesn't also have control on land. It'd be one thing if leenock controlled the land, demuslim controlled the sea. That's not the case. Demuslim controls everything. But yeah, super interesting that they decided to go with all the range. Maybe leenock was testing something out here. That's also the thing with some of these ranked games. You never know. Obviously, there's plenty of Golden League content coming out this weekend, so go watch that. If you want to see some awesome casters and some awesome players play their absolute best, I will say sometimes in ranked and custom games, the ones I'm casting, they're testing things out, which is no shade at all, because these players, even with testing out, could beat me a million times over. I will say, not to brag, getting pretty up there. Have won 4 of my 5 placements in solos, and almost gold. I believe I'm gold 2 now in rank 2s. So looking for that plat. And once I get to, like I said, when I get to 250 subscribers, I'll drop a 2v2 series with one of my friends, and we'll try to get to diamond, which will be kind of fun. Because we're not nearly as good. Oh, there's some pressure, but a little bit too late. And the English with these longbowmen and the upgrades itself, not going to do super well for leenock. Doesn't have that critical mass of archers as demuslim does as well. And there you go. It's just going to be shooting fish in a barrel over here. These poor horse. And just, I will say, it's so satisfying as an English player to send these volleys and kill units one at a time. It's also incredibly frustrating as the other player to deal with just such a useful civ, honestly. They're like I said, they're a jack of all trades. I wouldn't be surprised if they also get nerfed in the next patch. They're in a too good of a spot for how simple they are to navigate, and just absolute destruction. A little bit of overkill here, but as if you've ever watched Muslim screen, he loves to have fun. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was laughing with his chat when he was sending that one in, which is pretty awesome. Again, go check him out for sure, and same with leenock. 2 incredible players. Once you lose the water, it's going to be really tough. Interesting to see that we're going to go up to age 3 for leenock. I don't think demuslim's going to let that happen, because this massive ball of units is rolling across the map. And as we've seen in the past couple of videos, honestly, if one person decides to essentially all in on the feudal age push, and the other person doesn't respect that and pushes up to castle age when they shouldn't, or when they should be, those resources should essentially be units right now for leenock if he wants a chance at this. But with the supplies, with the civilians, I think this is pretty much over anyways. So maybe leenock's thinking this is the only way that he does have a chance of getting into this, is dropping this down, which would increase gold drop off of the mark 50%. So essentially just like hoping for the absolute best. Because without it, ugh. It is nice to see. I mean, obviously this was on a water map, so that's probably why. But it was nice to see a Mongol game or two, or pretty much any game without trading. Even if the water's not your thing or your cup of tea, it's still always interesting to see these high-level players, micro, and the decisions they make, and when they go in, when they don't go in. Yeah. So this ball just moving in. I wouldn't be surprised if they're just like chatting, like saying GG, stuff like that. Because this is pretty much over. Oh no, this is gonna be an absolute slaughter once these longbowmen. Oh, they're all snuck in. Honestly, pretty impressed. Oh, they tried to sneak out for that one. Wasn't gonna happen. Is now demuslim gonna kill this? Is now the time? No. All right, just wanted to see just a little scouting mission. Wanted to see what's up. Or I'm assuming just back here, just macroing, throwing the white tower down next to the boar, just in case there's any counter rushes, walled off as well. So the English is sitting in an unreal spot. At this point, with this much fish as well, demuslim could go for a 45-minute game and be totally okay. leenock, not the case, is going for these knights, the lancers. All right. And once this is found, this is pretty much going to be curtains. It's been fun to watch this game, but I think this is the slow death that is finally going to come to the end. These are Castle Age units. but they don't stand a chance against this many. Plus, I mean, at this point, demuslim can just throw these away, right? Like, it doesn't... Oh. So I'm guessing that means GG. There, it looks like there was a little bit of an error with the end screen there, but that was GG. I mean, we saw it anyways. We all saw it coming. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Again, I can't wait to see the 100 next to the name. It's only been like 5 weeks, which is actually incredible. The community of Age of Empires 4 has been just awesome, and I can't wait to keep producing content for you guys in videos. So the next one will drop on Sunday, as per usual, and we'll kind of go from there. So let me know if there's any certain civilizations that you want to see for my next video. And yeah, thank you so much for all the support, and please do like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Have a great day.